All right, so what is going on in gold mining, specifically gold mining in Russia? We have an expert, Peter Hambro, Chief Executive of Petropavlovsk. Did I say it almost correctly?
You got it perfectly.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm here at the BMO Capital Markets Conference, Metals and Mining. They even gave me a jacket. I'm part of the home team now. What is going on? You've increased production by almost a fifth last year in terms of gold production. Is that going to continue?
Very much so. Our business is one of bringing new mines into production. We've brought 3 into production now, and it's ramping those up that will allow us to continue this growth. And I think we will have a doubling of production over the next 3 years.
Any increase in the dividend? I know you reinstated the dividend. Shareholders very happy. Going to continue?
I believe that everybody who buys a share in a mining company should get a dividend. That's what, after all, they're valued on the basis of discounted cash flow. And if you don't share in the cash flow, you shouldn't buy it.
Now, one of the other things you've done is you did, I believe, a convertible debt offering, right? So you raised some money. What are you going to do with that money? Are you going to invest in other mining assets?
Well, we have a big development portfolio, both in iron ore and in gold, and some of it will be spent on that, some of it will be spent on acquisition, and some of it will be a protection against the disasters that we had in 2008, for example.
You mean crash and dash and the possible another crash again?
I think it's not a time to be illiquid or find yourself in difficulties, and I think that's why gold itself is becoming more popular with people and indeed with governments. We're seeing governments buying gold, building their gold reserves, because they are as scared of competitive devaluation of currencies by other governments, and so they need to have a sound store of value.
Before the program, we were speaking about where the demand is coming from, and you said clearly China.
Well, China is for us frightfully important. All our assets are on the border of China. We have some substantial, very substantial iron ore assets, 500 million tons of iron ore, which is a China-facing asset, and China is buying iron ore with a 9% growth in GDP. That is a country that needs iron ore, and we're 19,000 miles closer to China than Brazil. So where else are they going to buy their iron ore?
Maybe not put it on a ship, maybe just stick it on a railway car.
Absolutely. The railway, our iron ore is 4 kilometers from the existing railway station on the Trans-Siberian Railway. Give it a push and the truck runs into China.
You don't drive the train yourself, though, Peter. When you look at iron ore pricing right now, do you think there's going to be a change in the way iron ore prices are determined? I was speaking to Tom Albanese of Rio Tinto earlier, and he said the spot market is exerting a lot of pressure on those negotiators.
It is, and I've been in the metals business for a long time, and I firmly believe in the spot price as the great determiner of where things are, because it's the only really sure price. The spot price is definitely looking firm, and firmer still, I think, in the near future.
So does that mean that we're going to see higher iron ore prices just because of this spot price differential between the negotiated price?
I think that the benchmark prices will be driven higher by the spot price, yeah.
What about demand for iron ore? Are you seeing any abatement in the demand from China?
The demographics of China are such that they need to bring the people into the cities. They need iron ore. They may be able to recycle the cars, but they can't recycle the buildings. They need to build them and have them full of people. And that's where the big demand for construction steel is coming from.
When you talked earlier about joint ventures or investing in other types of mines and production, what about investing with Russian companies, OAO, Gazprom, for example? Will you be investing along with them in certain projects?
Well, we have a joint venture with Leader, which is the manager of the Gazprom pension fund, which will be a joint venture investment by RCS. That's about to happen imminently. And
when people look at investing in Russia, they always kind of worry about the political risk. What have you found?
Well, I've been doing business there since 1979. I've been an investor there for very nearly 16 years, and so far I've found it to be an extraordinarily fine place to invest. And why anybody gives a lower discount rate to assets in non-G8 countries than it gives to Russia, I think is ridiculous.
And especially for energy, let's talk about energy assets in Russia. Same thing?
Well, I'm not involved in energy assets in Russia, and I think there have been problems by way some of those were acquired. But in general terms, the big companies, I think, are fine. We've seen aberrations, but in general, no problem.
All right. I want to thank you very much, Peter Hambro, coming in, Chief Executive, Petropavlovsk. Pavlovsk. All right. I'm going to get it right. I got to learn from you. I got to learn a lot from you. All right. Thank you very much coming to us.